Claude Opus 4.8 is 2 days old. And for the first time, one model is good enough to run a business through the night with nobody in the room. Here's what that actually looks like. It's 3 a.m. You're asleep. And this is what your laptop could be doing right now. A phone lights up in the dark. A sale lands. $41. And you didn't lift a finger. Now multiply that. 14 machines, ranked by how fast they pay and how little they need you. Number 1, you can build before bed tonight. Let's be honest about why you're tired. It's not that you don't work hard enough, it's that your income stops the second you do. You sell hours. When you sleep, the meter sleeps too. Here's the brutal math: 8,760 hours in a year. You're awake and working for maybe 2,000 of them. The other 6,760 are dead, earning nothing. That's not a money problem, it's an architecture problem. You're standing on a wheel that only pays while you run. Now I know what you're thinking. Passive income is mostly a lie. You're right. Most of it is. Dropshipping courses, faceless channels, get rich while you nap nonsense. So let me be straight. Opus 4.8 launched 48 hours ago. Nobody has a track record with it. Not me, not anyone. I'm not showing you fake receipts. I'm showing you capability. What this model can now do, unsupervised, for 8 hours straight. Every machine here is a blueprint, not a promise. The earnings are ranges, never guarantees. You bring the work. The machine brings the night shift. Here's the whole map. 2 axes. Across the bottom, how fast it pays. Up the side, how little it needs you. 14 machines, scattered across the dark. Down in the easy corner, fast and simple. The ones you can stand up this week. Up in the far corner, deep and autonomous. The ones that run themselves and bill on their own. We climb from one to the other. From renting your hours to owning a portfolio. Let's cross the threshold. Start with the simplest one, the drip machine. Every night, an agent builds you one small digital product, a prompt pack, a Notion template, a mini playbook. Opus writes it, tears its own draft apart, rewrites it, organizes the whole thing into a clean kit, designs a cover, writes the listing copy, and parks it for one tap of approval in the morning. You tap yes. It ships to Gumroad. Gumroad sells and delivers around the clock, and you keep about 90%. One product won't change your life, but a shelf that grows by one every single night compounds. Realistically, $50 to $500 a month, climbing as the catalog fills. Machine 2 doesn't build a product. It finds money already leaking out of someone else's business. Every company quietly bleeds cash. Forgotten subscriptions, duplicate tools, dead seats, sneaky price hikes. You connect a client's card feed, and once a month, overnight, the machine pulls the latest transactions and regenerates the report. They wake up to a number. Here's $4,200 a year you're bleeding, line by line. Opus is what makes it work. Messy spreadsheets, PDFs, and bank exports, it reads all of it, clusters the vendors, catches the duplicates, and writes it in plain dollars. And because the creep comes back every month, this is a retainer, not a one-off. $99 to $399 a month per small business. 3, and the last of the easy corner. Picture a store with 1,000 products. Every description thin, ugly, copy-pasted. The kind no AI search engine will ever quote. You hand the machine one spreadsheet. Overnight, it runs as an unattended batch, rewriting all 1,000 listings for the way people search now, holding the brand voice dead steady the whole way, killing duplicates, injecting the structured data so AI can actually read them. Morning, an import ready catalog and an email. that says one word, done. This used to take a team, charge 50 cents to $2 a listing or a flat retainer. A 1,000 product job runs $500 to $2,000, earned while the agent worked and you didn't. You've crossed over. You felt money move with you out of the room. Now it goes deeper. Welcome to the night shift control room. The next 5 machines don't make a thing once and stop. They run on a loop all night, wired into live systems, making real decisions for you, which is exactly where you need the warning that keeps this from blowing up. Anything risky, anything that touches money or a customer's feelings stays human in the loop. The machine drafts and decides. You approve the dangerous edges. Autonomy with a leash. Hold on to that. Machine 4 writes itself. Pick a boring, high value niche, the kind advertisers pay a fortune to reach. At 4 in the morning, a scheduled job scrapes the feeds RSS, Reddit, Hacker News, X, and Opus does the thing most tools choke on. It reads dozens of stories in a single pass, ranks them, cuts the duplicates, and writes the issue in your voice after checking it against your last 7 editions so you never repeat yourself. Then it schedules through your newsletter platform. The ad network and boosts fill the slots and pay out while you sleep. At 10 to 30,000 subscribers in the right niche, that's $500 to $4,000 a month from a publication with no editor at the desk. 5. Every business with a Google or Yelp page has the same silent problem. Reviews pile up, nobody answers. Overnight, this machine polls the review feeds, reads each new one, matches the brand's tone, and writes a real personal reply. Now watch the mentor's rule in action. 4 and 5 stars. It posts automatically inside guardrails. But a 1 star, an angry rant. Anything that smells like a lawsuit, it won't touch it. It cues that for a human at 9. Auto where it's safe, escalate where it isn't. $150 to $600 a month per location. And a multi-location client is several of those at once. 6 kills the worst part of sales. Cold emails that sound like a robot wrote them. Everyone templates the first line. Hi first name, I see you work at company. Dead on arrival. This machine pulls a list of prospects nightly, enriches each one, and then Opus reads the entire profile and writes one genuinely specific opener per person. Not a mail merge. A real observation about that real company. You wake up to a batch of warm, personalized drafts already sitting in your outreach tool, ready to skim and send. For an agency, that's 2% reply rates turning into 10. $1 to $4,000 a month per client. 7 gets a little spooky in the best way. It's an overnight sales rep. A loop watches the inbound inbox all night. A lead comes in at 1 a.m. The machine reads it, scores it against your ideal customer profile, writes a reply that actually answers their specific question, logs everything to your CRM with next steps, and if they're hot, books the call straight into your calendar. That's chained tool use. Several live systems. One decision after another, in the dark. And the connectors for Gmail, your CRM and calendar are native to Claude now. Real, not hypothetical. $300 to $1,000 a month per client for a rep that never sleeps and never forgets to follow up. 8 closes out the control room. Support at 3 a.m. A customer files a ticket in the dead of night. The machine polls the help desk every few minutes, reads the ticket, searches the knowledge base, pulls their order through tool use, and decides. Simple fix. It troubleshoots and replies. Refund inside policy. It handles it. Genuinely ambiguous. It tags it for the human at 9. By morning, the queue is half cleared and the customer already feels taken care of. Bill it as a retainer. $500 to $2,500 a month. Or per resolution at around 40 to 80 cents, which quietly undercuts the big incumbent at 99 cents a pop. Here's where most people stop. Drafts, replies, support tickets. Useful, but still kind of safe. Now we go into the inmost cave, the four machines where the agent doesn't just suggest. It reasons across dozens of documents, makes a real judgment call, and produces something a client pays real money for while you're unconscious. This is the part that wasn't reliable before this model. Take a breath. It gets serious from here. Machine 9 is the least vaporware thing on this whole list, and I'll prove it in a second. Businesses are panicking about one question. When someone asks ChatGPT or Perplexity for a recommendation, do they get named or does a competitor? You sell the answer as an audit. Here's the part that feels illegal. They pay at midnight through Stripe. By 6 a.m., the report is in their inbox, and you were asleep the entire time. A 2 a.m. scheduled job grabs the paid order, runs the full audit, scores how citable they are, benchmarks rivals, generates a polished PDF, and emails it. Why is this the least vaporware? Because the very project this video was built in already ships the audit and report skills that do exactly this. $500 to $2,000 per audit. 4 to 12 a month puts you at 2 to 15,000. 10 is a Watchtower. Every night it snapshots the pages you're told to track. Competitor pricing, landing pages, promo banners, and compares them against yesterday. But a raw list of changes is just noise. The skill is in the read. Opus separates a meaningless tweak from a real strategic move, infers what the competitor is actually trying to pull from the promo copy, and writes a tight morning brief with a recommended response. Your client opens their laptop to, here's what your rivals changed overnight, and here's what to do about it. And the business model is beautiful. You bill a flat retainer, whether they change 10 things or nothing at all. 3 to 10 retainers, $600 to $5,000 a month. 11 attacks the most soul-crushing task in business. Reading dense solicitation documents, RFPs, grant applications, government bids, 40-page PDFs, most of them a total waste of your time. Every night, the machine scrapes the procurement portals and reads the full documents, not the summaries, the whole thing in long context. It pulls the eligibility, the deadline, the budget, scores each one against your subscriber's profile, and drafts a digest. They wake up to, here are the 5 bids actually worth your time. And we already told you why. Recurring revenue for handing people back their mornings. $300 to $3,000 a month, run by one person. 12 is the boldest one yet, and it's where the model's new ceiling really shows. There's real money posted online for fixing real open source bugs. Overnight, the machine polls the bounty board, and for each qualifying issue, it spawns a run. Watch what that run does. It pulls a 200,000 token code base into a single context, reproduces the bug, writes the actual fix, plus a regression test, so it never breaks again, and drafts the pull request. By morning, a pull request is waiting. If it merges, you get paid asynchronously for code that wrote itself while you slept. It's lumpy, $200 to $1,500 a month, but every dollar is proof the machine can ship. You made it through the cave. Now you seize the sword. The last two aren't side hustles. They're products. They bill around the clock, on their own, and they defend their own revenue. This is where the whole identity flips. You stop being a freelancer with a clever script. You become the operator of a business that runs in the dark. Machine 13 is a real software business you barely touch. A client installs your bot on their GitHub. From then on, every pull request they open at noon or at 3 a.m. fires a webhook that triggers an autonomous Opus review. It reads the full diff in context, traces the ripple effects of the change, flags the actual bugs, not nitpicks, and leaves line anchored comments like a senior engineer would. Then, Stripe bills per active contributor on the team. The going rate is around $20 to $30 a developer a month for roughly this. 20 to 100 seats across your clients puts you at $400 to $3,000 in monthly recurring revenue from a bot reviewing code while the world sleeps. 14 is the final form, the self-healing micro-SaaS. You build a small software product. Stripe bills for it around the clock. But here's what kills micro-SaaS founders. It breaks at 3 a.m., you're asleep, customers hit the error, and they're gone before you ever wake up. So you give it an immune system. When something breaks, an error alert wakes an agent in the middle of the night. It traces the error to the exact line of code, writes the patch, runs a test that locks the fix in, and deploys it, but only inside a whitelist you defined. The leak seals before the customer notices. A solo dev micro SaaS can run $1 to $10,000 a month. Self-healing is what protects it. This is the machine that doesn't just earn while you sleep. It defends itself while you sleep. Step back and look at what just happened. 14 machines. The wheel you were standing on is gone. Because here's the line worth writing down. You don't have a job that pays you. You have machines that pay you. That's the whole flip. From renting your hours to owning a portfolio that works the night shift. Back to the nightstand. Only now, more than one screen glows in the dark. And here's the most important thing I'll say all video. Do not try to build all 14. That's how you build none. The reason number one is that you can stand it up tonight before bed. One small product, one agent, one link. Get a single machine paying you while you sleep, and your whole relationship with money quietly changes. Just one, tonight. Want the full rank breakdown? All 14 with the exact build steps? Drop the keyword in the comments, and I'll send you the 14 machine playbook. Deep dives like this live here on YouTube. Bite-sized drops are on Instagram at Hyper Automation Labs. Now, go build number one. Good night.